The door wasn't there yesterday. Oliver was sure of that. He had walked this alley every morning for 2 years. Same shortcut. Same brick walls covered in faded graffiti. Same broken street lamp that flickered even in daylight. But today, halfway down the alley, between 2 dumpsters and a rusted fire escape, there was a wooden door. No frame. No handle. Just a tall, dark door standing flush against brick. He stopped. It didn't look new. The wood was worn, slightly scratched. As if it had always been there. But it hadn't. He would have noticed. He stepped closer. There was no knob. No visible hinges. Just a small brass plaque at eye level. It read, "Open when ready." Oliver laughed quietly to himself. Ready for what? The alley was silent. No traffic noise. No footsteps. Just a faint hum in the air. He reached out. The wood felt warm. Not sun-warm. Alive warm. His hand hovered for a moment. He wasn't the kind of person who did impulsive things. He worked in data analysis. He believed in logic. In patterns. In explanations. Doors don't appear overnight. But something inside him shifted. He pressed against it. The door opened easily. Not inward. Not outward. It dissolved. The alley disappeared. He was standing in his childhood bedroom. Perfectly preserved. Posters on the wall. The old desk covered in homework scribbles. The small crack in the ceiling above his bed. He hadn't seen this room in 15 years. He stepped forward slowly. On the desk was a notebook. His handwriting. A list. Things I'll do when I'm older. He picked it up. Travel the world. Write a book. Learn guitar. Move to a different country. Be brave. He sat on the edge of the bed. He remembered writing that list. He also remembered forgetting it. The air in the room felt different. Like time was paused. He turned toward the doorway. Instead of a hallway, there was only darkness. And the faint outline of the wooden door. A realization hit him. The plaque hadn't said, "Open anytime." It had said, "Open when ready." Ready for what? He looked back at the list. He had achieved stability. Comfort. Predictability. But not the things that had once made him feel alive. He stood. Walked toward the darkness. Through it. He was back in the alley. The wooden door was still there. But now the plaque read. One entry only. His heart pounded. He touched the door again. Nothing happened. It was solid wood now. Just a door. No warmth. No hum. He stepped back. The alley sounds returned. Cars in the distance. A dog barking. He looked at his phone. 3 minutes had passed. He opened his notes app immediately. Typed the list again. Word for word. Travel. Write. Learn guitar. Be brave. The door behind him creaked once. When he turned, it was gone. Just brick. Rough and ordinary. He stood there for a long time. Then he walked out of the alley differently than he had entered it. Because sometimes the door doesn't change your past. It reminds you that you still have a future. And it only opens once. For the rest of the day, Oliver couldn't focus. Spreadsheets blurred. Emails felt meaningless. Numbers, once comforting, now looked flat and lifeless. Every cell he filled in felt like a quiet betrayal of that notebook on the desk in his childhood room. Travel the world. Write a book. Learn guitar. Be brave. The last one echoed the loudest. He tried to convince himself it had been stress. A hallucination. A trick of the mind. People don't step through doors into the past. Brick walls don't dissolve. But that list was in his phone now. Exactly as he had written it at 12 years old. That night, he walked back to the alley. No door. Just brick. He ran his hand over the wall anyway. Cold. Solid. Unremarkable. You missed it, a voice said behind him. He turned sharply. An older woman stood near the alley entrance, holding a grocery bag. Excuse me. You missed it, she repeated calmly. His chest tightened. The door. She smiled faintly. It only appears when you've ignored yourself for too long. You've seen it, he asked. She nodded. Years ago. I didn't open it. Silence settled between them. What happened? He asked quietly. It stopped appearing, she said simply. And so did parts of me. The words hit harder than he expected. Can it come back? He asked. The woman looked at the brick wall. It doesn't come back, she said. You go forward. She adjusted the grocery bag in her hand. Doors aren't exits, she added. They're reminders. And then she walked away. Oliver stood there alone again. The next morning, instead of taking the alley, he booked a guitar lesson. It felt ridiculous. He was 34. But he went. The week after that, he requested unpaid leave from work. Not dramatic. Just a month. To travel. To write. To see if the person who made that list still existed somewhere under deadlines and safe choices. His manager stared at him. This is sudden. Maybe, Oliver replied. Or maybe it's late. He didn't quit his job immediately. He didn't sell everything and disappear. He just stepped slightly off the path he had been walking for years. Small shifts. Intentional ones. Months later, when he walked past that alley again, he didn't stop. He didn't need to. Because the door hadn't been a portal. It had been a question. And once you answer it, you don't wait for it to appear again.